Welcome back to another video. You might notice that I have my windows down this time. A lot of you guys on my last video when I reviewed the windscreen said that I should have the windows down. So I'm gonna test it out with the windows down. So stick to the end of the video and I'm gonna review and see the decibel readings with the windows down and the windscreen installed. But this video is really about another product from Speedway Composites. And as I mentioned, that I really liked their product and I wanted to test out some more, so I reached out and saw if I could review their X-Brace, and they were kind enough to send it to me, and I do want to thank them for that. What an X-Brace essentially does is it stiffens up the chassis of the car. And if you've seen one of my older video where I did mention that I do kind of regret not getting the mag ride, and the reason was coming out of a turn, as soon as you even up your steering wheel and you make it go straight, you do feel a slight body roll. And with the X-Brace, what it's supposed to do is significantly reduce that body roll. And I watched a video of the Stig's fat brother, and I'll link that video in the description as well, where he takes his Z06 to the track and noticed a significant difference in his lap times, but also how the car felt. Another thing he mentioned is how the tires wear on the track with and without the X-Brace. So definitely it works. I'm not planning on taking this car to the track this year, so probably next year. But until then, I can show you how it looks, how it's installed. And if someone who's not tracking the car that often, just for the looks, I think it does add an aggressive look to the car and it looks pretty sweet. Stay tuned and I'll show you the product. So we are back here in the garage, and if you're an old subscriber, you might notice some change. The walls are black and there's new lighting up there. I worked in the garage before and the lighting just wasn't enough. I'm so pleased with how it looks. It's a little empty right now. There's one picture of me on a track day with this motorcycle. There's going to be more, some neon signs. Stay tuned and we'll be updating this garage. But for now, I'm going to open up the package, which is right there, and show you the X-Brace and install it. So first impressions, the finish is great. The carbon fiber looks amazing. This is stainless steel one piece, and it has steel inside with carbon fiber tubing, and it is pretty solid. By the way, guys, this is the windscreen that I was talking about earlier, and the brand that I got it from is Speedway Composites. That's the same brand that I got the X-Brace from, and I did mention that I did receive this product for free, but my only condition was that I'm going to be honest about the review, no strings attached, and they agreed. So both the products, same conditions, and they are giving me a code which for my viewers, they can get 10% off, which is JAY10. I'll link both the products in the description. Go ahead and get yours. So the instructions are pretty good that come with it. First thing, you're gonna remove two T40 Torx bolts up on the front. The one that you have to take off is the one further towards the cabin. Second is gonna be remove these 13mm bolts that are also towards the cabin. Once you remove those, then you're gonna place the X-Brace on top. You might have to play around lengthening or shortening the tubes itself using the bolts right here. That would either lengthen or shorten the tube itself. That way it would fit there snugly. The fourth step is to insert the T40s up front. Also install and tighten these 13mm. The last step is going to be to hold the tension bolt, which is this, with a 14mm and tighten the jam nut with a 19mm to 10 pound-feet of torque. So seems pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and start opening it up. So by the way, these two beams that you see is for the same reason, but as you can see, it goes forward and back. But this X-Brace is not only gonna enhance the forward and back rigidity, but also go left to right. What Speedway Composite promises is a 10% increase in stiffness of the chassis. By the way, I don't see any Loctite on these. I just gotta make sure they were torqued pretty well. I'll check online if I can see the torque specs, just so that I can torque it back to spec. Next are these 13mm bolts. I would recommend getting a longer socket so that it clears these towers and it can slide right in. Now that all the bolts are off, it's time to line up the X-Brace. Goes on here and here. So this one I might have to tighten just to shorten so that it goes in. Another. Dropped in. Now just make sure that the T40s are lining up as well. This one's perfect. And this one is as well. So one thing to make sure is that your socket is one of these thinner ones, just so that it slides in, no pun intended. And yeah, so this one is perfect for our use case. Let's go ahead and torque down those T40s and then the 13mm. So on this side, it's just a tight fit because the tension bolt is in the way. I just had to angle it before I put in, and it went in all the way, so everything's good. One thing I would say is I wish Speedway Composite would just mention the torque specs that these 13mm and the T40s have. That way everyone would know how much to torque it, but I'm gonna do that research online and make sure it's torqued to spec. The last step is just take a 19mm and torque this bigger nut to 10 pound-feet. And I don't have a torque wrench like this in order to do it. I'm just gonna go by estimate, and just from working on different projects, I kind of know what 10 pound-feet would feel like on this size of a wrench, so should be good. All right, that's it, guys. I think it looks great, the easiest install. I would say it took 20 to 25 minutes to get this done. I would go ahead and take the car out tomorrow, take a test drive, see if I can feel any difference. Probably not. This is more of a performance 10% rigidity increase you might notice on the track, but in street riding, I'm probably not going to be able to tell. But as far as looks go, I am really pleased with how it looks. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked the product and the review. Now I'm going to show you the clip of me with the car on the highway with the windows down and using the windscreen from Speedway Composites. A special thanks to Speedway Composites for sending both these videos. Link's going to be in the description. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Take care. We're at 80 miles an hour, 81, 80. If you still believe it doesn't work, I don't think you ever will.